Welcome to the Country Hipster Podcast. My name is Paul. I am the Country Hipster. That music you heard was none other than the Unholy Four from Charlottesville, Virginia, and their hit song, Dirty Knife. Thank you.
It's called Dirty Knife.
It's been 6 years of saying Dirty Knife.
Did you wake up weird too?
I didn't. So go check out the Unholy Four on Bandcamp or Apple Music and Spotify, and they have an Instagram and all that fun stuff where you can find the Unholy Four. So real quick, this is today is Thursday, May the 2nd. So I just gotta say it real quick. May the 4th be with you to all those who celebrate on Saturday. Speaking of
May,
it is
Jesus.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. It's like, May of 2024. We started this podcast in March of like 2010.
Yeah,
and we're finally getting towards the end of season 1. So it's really great. Real quick, the business. Friday night, May 3rd, I am playing at the Bristol AOH on Corson Street in Bristol, PA, around 7:30 p.m. And then on Saturday, May 4th, at 1 p.m., I will be at Wycombe Vineyard. Ottsville Record Garage news and business. Pop-up record store Sunday, 5/19, May 19th, at Bitch and Kitten Brewery on Marsville, PA. It is going to be a bruising vinyl. You like that? You like that?
No, that's good.
That is. And I want to talk to them. I want to see, because they're really cool there. So I want to see if I can get them. I can talk them into because we're doing another one, I think in July, of doing an Ottsville Record Garage beer, and we call it Hipster Kitty. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Just a cat wearing a fucking skull cap and thick rim glasses.
Yeah, and maybe have a turntable there.
Turned out mustache.
But I'm going to talk to them about that and see if we can make that happen. But at any rate, Bitch and Kitten Brewing in Marsville, PA for Brews and Vinyl. And also, since it's May, we got a new...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't think of it, so fuck you.
I was just thinking about this.
Yeah.
I forgot to fucking think of one.
Yeah, you did. The new Country Hipster Podcast promo code, specific promo code on OttsvilleRecordGarage.com, which saves you 15% off of your entire order, will be none other than Kitten. So putting Kitten... Just Kitten, K-I-T-T-E-N. Putting Bitch and Kitten. No, it's just Kitten. Put it in the promo code section at checkout, and you will save 15% off your whole order at OttsvilleRecordGarage.com, and that is a podcast-specific promo code.
The words are hard.
They are. They are.
Especially for Paul.
Oh, fuck you guys. To my right is...
If I didn't say it, Tom was going to.
I wasn't saying shit.
He wasn't saying... He was actually being quiet for once.
Yeah.
Tom was being nice.
I'm back on Paul's side.
Thank
for
you.
The vote. Yeah.
Thank you, buddy. All right. So, speaking of the man who's on my side, the man to my right, the Country Heartthrob, the official bartender of the Country Hipster Podcast. Let's welcome back Tom to the Country Hipster Podcast, which, by the way, did anything ever happen from the...
How was your date?
I'll tell you when we're off the air.
Oh, okay. All right.
Such a gentleman. He never YouTube kisses and tells.
Kiss and tell.
Only, yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll talk off air.
I'll tell the listeners if it's one of you guys.
Yes. All right. Okay. And then to my immediate left is our resident rapid rescue expert, Kristen. Welcome, Kristen, back to the Country Hipster Podcast. And I believe you brought us gifts.
I did. I brought more
a box of fucking
toys because you guys wrecked all the other ones.
We did.
Pop it. I've been looking at this one trying to figure out what the fuck it is.
There's going to be a lot of crinkling.
I love the little bucket of...
Is this what color those things started out as?
Yo, hook me up with one of those little noodles there.
We got a whole bucket of shit
You need a noodle?
I do.
Yeah. We have, as you can tell on the podcast, we're a little ADHD on here, and we jump around a lot, but also we play with our fingers, and I do my pen like this.
There's a lot of clicking.
And so Kristen brings us toys.
Yeah.
That's how this started, right? Because she was annoyed with you fucking around with the pen the whole time.
She said it sounds like I'm jerking off. So
it sounds really weird, like...
What's the clicking noise when you beat it?
I don't know.
It doesn't translate into clicking when you're listening to it.
Okay,
that's great because she complains about all the noise you would make before, but now this entire episode is just
it's all
crumbling a fucking cellophane.
Yes, it is. And to the far left is my brother and co-host Adam. The country shouldn't have moved to Delco.
It's true.
That's true. We were talking about it earlier. I just said, Adam, you shouldn't move to Delco.
My plan was to be up here. I got here about half an hour later than planned because my girlfriend and I took the kids to the carnival down there, and it was eventful.
Somebody get stabbed?
No.
Oh.
But it was.
Does that happen at carnivals?
Fist fight?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure people get
stabbings.
People got. I remember people.
Do you know who works at carnivals?
Carnies.
Carnies.
They fucking stab
Smell
each
like
other
cabbage.
for fun.
Small hands.
Constantly. each other. Come on.
We don't. If we've offended any of the carnies out
fuck
there,
all of them.
as Tom says, "Fuck y'all, carnies."
It'd be weird
Fuck
if like
you.
Spotify started keeping track of like this demographic of the podcast is female, male, non-binary, carny.
And then of course we know how many Mexicans hate Adam because Adam hates the Mexican population for no good reason other than the fact that they make delicious beer.
Love to the Mexican community.
I don't know, man. You talk a lot of shit
As
about
long
their
as
beer.
it's Modelo, fucking, I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
Then
we'll see.
Victoria's not terrible.
So good.
Okay, well, real quick, I'm gonna go to. You're not a regular guest, but we'll go back. We'll go to Kristen. How you doing? Welcome back.
I'm good.
Yes, what have you been up to?
When was the last episode you were on? Not random record. The last episode.
Cure?
I don't know.
No. It was well after. I don't remember either.
Oh, wait.
December?
I got it in my notebook.
I remember the random
My
record.
handy dandy notebook.
I remember the
Handy
random
dandy.
records, but that's all I remember.
Weezer was the random record. Blitz and Trapper was the random record. The Decemberist.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So there you go. You were on. That was
got
the
my
last
two-
time you were on for a full-fledged episode.
Correct.
So you're back for this one. Everything going well?
Oh, yeah, sure. I got jury duty.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It's literally the Friday before Memorial Day, though. So I'm thinking they won't call me in.
yeah. Or if you do, they'll send you home early.
Why would
They
do
don't
that?
seat in. I live in Mercer County, New Jersey. They don't seat shit on a Friday. If you make it through Thursday, you're
I
fucking
feel like
golden.
when I call Thursday night, they're going to be like, no.
Like, don't
Yeah,
bother.
Thanks, but no
I
thanks.
think I've only been to jury duty once, and I think it was on a Friday. And we get there, and they're like, "All right, we're gonna break for lunch at noon." So like 11:45, the woman comes in and like calls everybody back into the room. So I'm like, "All right, either they have something or we're taking an early lunch." And she's like, "They're done with the trials for the day. Everybody can go
Just
home."
go
I was
home.
like, "Sweet." I was
Yeah.
like, "I called out of work for this, but I guess I can go in now."
Yeah.
So
There you go.
I'm just warning you that jury duty is contagious. So now that I've mentioned it to all three of you,
I got called twice last year,
somebody's
so-
going to get called. Just a heads up.
I keep not getting seated, but I keep getting called. So I'm due to catch a fucking trial
Yeah,
at one
I'm
point.
sorry.
I don't know how that's going to work here because, like, I mean, I've lived in Philly my whole life, and I never, I've done jury duty in Philly. I don't know how that would work. I guess I would have to go down to Doylestown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yellowstone.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, I
That's
have
where
to
I
go
had-
to Norristown for mine.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that sucks.
Unless it's a federal one you get, and then you got to go.
Then you got to go to Philly. Yeah, you gotta, yeah. Okay,
Well, there's
all
a
right.
federal courthouse in Trenton, so I don't have to worry about that.
All right, cool. So, but everything's been good
Yeah,
since your last.
everything's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
I would say
Awesome.
everything's great. Kristen got me work.
Yes,
I did.
From a very, I messaged her on Instagram like after I delivered the thing to the woman. I was like, way to not warn me that she's just the most lovely woman I've ever met in my entire life.
Hey,
Didn't know there needed to be a warning for
Have you ever-
for lovely people.
Real quick, have you ever been to that woman's house?
No.
It's fucking gorgeous.
No, we usually meet at the vet, and she hands
Yeah.
off the rabbit, and then I take the rabbit to my house.
She messaged me and told me, she's like, oh yeah, it's this. She's like, just keep going, and it's past the whatever. So I pull into this woman's driveway, and it's like kind of like Paul's driveway, where it's like long, and then it's like two old stone pillars with like a split rail fence, and then this just gorgeous fucking farmhouse.
She's a doctor.
Oh, is she? I looked it up.
okay.
The house,
Yeah.
the last time the house sold was in 2019 for like 1.4 million.
What kind of alarm system did you say?
Oh, it's a Brinks.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, cool.
Just
You
wondering.
Are you gonna BTK that
Yeah.
shit? Yeah.
Oh, I might. She gave me fucking eggs.
There you go.
They were the most delicious. Like the egg, like I don't know.
They were good eggs.
The eggs
because
were like denser than like grocery store eggs. I
Yeah.
can't wait till Paul's chickens start fucking making eggs.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
gonna steal some.
So I've
Gonna be
had
great.
eggs that were from a friend's farm and her chickens, and they tasted like dirt.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh, I don't think I like fresh eggs. I think I just need grocery eggs.
Okay.
But those eggs
they
were
were really
delicious.
fucking good.
And I don't want to eat the blue ones because they're pretty.
My
Like,
girlfriend
they're
said the same
still
thing.
in my
She's like, "Can we
refrigerator."
save the blue ones?" I'm like, "No,
No.
they're
Well,
gonna be scrambled
they'll
in 2
last
minutes."
a really long time.
one of the chickens we got, I think it's Nina Simone. I think she is capable of doing like greenish eggs.
You were telling me that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
So it's an Araucana or an Americana?
I don't know.
I've been raising chickens for 40
No,
years.
I know.
so, yeah.
Katie's got it all written down. I just name them their names and then
Those are the
play
ones
with them.
that you'll get. I've had them that lay pink eggs, that anywhere from pink to like light blue,
Oh, nice.
dark green, light green. It depends on what they're mixed with, but there's Americanas that do a bunch of different colors.
That'd be awesome.
If I didn't know any better, if I just like bought a chicken and it started laying green eggs, I'm like, oh no, this chicken's sick. Like we should.
These
we
are
need
defective.
to.
I mean,
we need
you
to
just
put it
recently
down.
have been able to find brown eggs commercially, like
Yeah.
within the last 10 years. That wasn't a thing when we
Yeah.
were kids.
Mm.
Most chickens don't lay white eggs. It's just there's chickens that are bred to
Well, that's the thing.
lay eggs a lot. Like
Yeah.
Leghorns will pump out
Yeah.
tons of fucking eggs, and that's all that matters. And
Uh-huh.
they just want
and they'll try to explain everything to you over and over again insistently.
Yeah. My girlfriend asked me, she's like, why don't they have like
joke,
I got that. You're fucking idiot. My girlfriend asked me why we can't go to the grocery store and like find blue eggs. I'm like, because they're not the stereotypical egg color. It's like they're not trying to.
Yeah, those type of chickens aren't.
Yeah, I was
bred to lay a shitload of eggs.
Like, they're looking for mass quantities and they're looking for what's ever aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, that hen might lay 2 or 3 a week instead of a leghorn, which is doing 8.
Yeah.
Yep. So cool. So as you guys see, Tom is here and he is the official bartender of the Country Hipster Podcast in the Outside Record Garage, which means that this is a booze and vinyl episode. Now, caveat to it, it's an unofficial booze and vinyl episode because the
Darlingtons have nothing to do with
this. The Darlingtons have nothing to do with this. Tanaya Darlington or Andre Darlington have nothing to do with this booze and vinyl. I don't even know if we can call it booze and vinyl because that may actually be a copyright infringement right there.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah, but we'll call it the B&V. We'll call it an unofficial B&V episode. So what we did was we have.
Did you ever get a little B&V on the first date?
Sometimes it happens. Yeah, man, it's been a while since I on the first. I mean, I haven't been on a first date since Katie, but
first date.
Yeah. Paul's a cheap date. You just buy him
2 Miller High Lifes.
Miller High Life and Taco Bell.
And he puts out.
Paul's putting out.
Yep. 100%.
Paul's a slut.
You guys aren't 100%. Wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I mean, but yeah. So what we did with the season 1 that's been going on for 30 years, we made some like little changes with the booze and vinyl, and that like we took certain records that like didn't have a booze and vinyl, but it might have been the artist or something like that. And the album that we're doing today, the Lemonheads, It's a Shame About Ray, it just kind of made sense to make this a booze and vinyl because there's a shot and a drink called the Lemon Drop. So it just kind of, I don't know, I thought it was a nice little, segue between them, but we're not doing lemon drops today. Tom will talk about the drink that we're doing, but so we have to do this though, since
my new goal is to figure out like a roundabout drink to make for every single record, because Tom is the official third host of this podcast. So I'm just going to make up some bullshit like, oh yeah, we're listening to Springsteen, got to drink
something from New Jersey.
Fucking
river
Jersey
water?
Jersey Turnpike.
Yeah.
All right. So one of the things that's kind of cool that Andre Darlington and Tanaya Darlington do in their books is they have this thing called Drop the Needle, right? It kind of gives you kind of little like insight of what you should be thinking about while drinking the drinks and listening to the album. So I hate the idea of dropping the needle because I don't want to mess up the needle and I don't want to mess up the record.
It's more of a place the needle.
So I'm going to have Gently Place the Needle.
Yeah.
Thank you. There you go. And here's the Gently Place the Needle on this. Janko jeans were all the rage. Girls in low-rise jeans, chokers, and summer dresses ruled the world via the Lilith Fair. Clinton absolutely had sexual relations with that woman, and OJ was on the run. When drinking this one, just
OJ.
say
OJ.
I mean, also fuck him.
Yes, also fuck him. But while drinking this one, just say it's a shame about the 90s. That's the best I could come up with.
But the 90s were pretty fucking bad.
No, they were pretty awesome.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I graduated high school, so that was fun.
We made it through.
So did I.
Yes. So actually, first,
hey, Paul.
Yeah.
Have a beer.
Oh yeah, well that's actually one of the things I was about to say. We've actually skipped a little thing here.
I want one of those Sly Foxes.
Well, beer me
Which
while
one?
you're at it.
You want one of these?
No, let me try that one.
Yeah.
I feel like I should have taken all these toys out of the plastic.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's bad work by you.
The entire episode.
For someone who gets triggered by weird noises on the.
I'm just gonna do them here under the table.
Oh, look at this fucking thing.
Away
There you
from
go.
the mic.
So,
That has Stegosaurus.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
yeah.
All
It's a Triceratops.
All right, so what are we drinking before we get to the drink that Tom's going to explain what we're doing and whatnot? I have a Sly Fox Goat Race Maybach, which is very interesting. It's a 7.2% beer. And the Goat Race Maybach is brewed annually to celebrate the strange magic that is the Sly Fox Bach Fest and Goat Race. For 20 years, we've gathered for the first Sunday of May to share fellowship, drink lager beer, and witness goats race towards glory. Prost!
That actually sounds awesome. I want to see
Goat
races.
Goat races sound rad.
It actually does sound
let's
rad. Are you
do it.
making fun of me that
It's
I had to like slowly do that?
It's next weekend.
Listen, they're
First
little.
weekend in May.
It is.
Tiny fucking,
Tiny
of all
fucking
this shit
letters.
that you're going to volunteer to read.
And then there's like
Oh,
fucking
I can't
things
read
in the
white,
middle.
white
You know what I
printing
mean?
If you handed it to me, I would have read that
background?
for you.
It's It's all good. What are you drinking there, though, Tom?
I am drinking a Sly Fox Pills of Pikeland Pills.
Pikeland Pills. Okay.
Not terrible.
All right, Chris. So what is going on?
She was confused about why it had a lanyard. I'm like, oh, it's because it's a fucking purse.
Oh, okay.
It's a little puppet purse.
Oh, my daughter had one of those when she was like 2. She loved that fucking.
Here, give that.
Give
to
it to Ryan. There you go.
She's 8.5 now.
She'll still love it.
So I'm drinking a High Noon. This one's a pineapple, but I just drank a lime.
I feel like High Noon is your. I think you've had High Noon every time you've been on, right?
That's
They're
what's
good,
in my
man.
fridge
I don't
right
think,
now.
What is it? It's like the weird vodka
It's a
thing,
vodka
right?
soda.
Canned vodka soda.
It's probably like malt liquor or something. Who knows?
Okay.
No.
Like all the other
No.
weird
The malt
drinks.
liquor ones say that they're.
Oh.
They say it's
Yeah, no, these are good.
flavored seltzer, whatever the fuck it is. There's 2 different cans for High Noon.
Oh yeah, like the White Claws.
And now Adam is drinking the Goat Race Maybach as well. But what were you drinking before that?
I say I was drinking this. Did you? Tom graduated to Sly Fox.
Yes.
I was drinking the Yingling Bach.
Very good.
Kristen, you are the resident German expert of the podcast. We're confused on what the fuck is up with goats and Bach. What's up with the goats and the Germans?
You mean the composer?
Yes, Bach.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bach.
B-A-C-H.
Okay.
I don't know. I can look that up.
He had
And
one fucking job. Is no German shit.
had I known about it ahead of time, I would've
You
looked
are
it
the
up.
resident German expert.
I'm not an expert.
You lived in Germany.
I did.
Yep.
Did you
I
really?
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
for-
The 3 of us
For
know
like
a combined
7
8 German
months?
words.
No.
You're clearly the expert.
Were you doing missionary work
9.
in Germany?
No, am I going to be in
I-
like the?
I
You
did
got
work
2 or
for
3, I'm
the
sure.
Archdiocese of
All right, well,
Germany.
Adam,
Das
come
Boot.
on.
I was
There's
the
2. There you go.
English assistant at a boarding school.
Fun.
I'm glad about
fancy.
good time.
Cool. So I'm sorry.
We're having side
Yeah, no, it's all
good. It's fine.
So what is the drink you'll be making for us for this booze an unofficial booze and vinyl a B&V episode?
B&V.
A B&V.
So the drink that I'm going to make is, you had asked me, because it's the Lemonheads, you had asked me about a lemon drop or something like that. So
Yes.
I looked around my liquor cabinet and my pantry, and we're going to do a pretty close facsimile to a lemon drop. I'm just using a flavored vodka instead. Lemon drops have, typically it's vodka, triple sec, lemon juice, and simple syrup. That's it. I'm going to use a flavored vodka. That's it. Peach flavored.
All right.
It'll go with the lemon and the orange.
So can we give it a special name? Like, can we call it like
Call it whatever you want.
call it the hipster drop?
Well, see if you like it first.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's
Yeah, I
probably
guess
a
that
good
makes sense.
idea. If you hate it, we don't have to call it anything.
If we hate it, we'll call it Adam.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
That's-
All right.
that's fair. You know, fuck you
So-
guys, but it's fair.
All right.
I didn't agree to that.
Fuck everybody but Kristen.
Okay. But all right. So while Tom is making a drink there, we got some lemon head candy. You want some? You want some lemon heads?
Yeah.
Tom wants some lemon
Yeah,
heads.
these are one of the worst candies
What are
ever.
you doing? Is that the opening?
Yeah.
Well, that's bizarre.
You never
Yeah,
saw
You're
that?
like yelling at me like,
That's
don't
how-
open it where it
That's how,
says to
like-
open
That's
it.
how like all movie theater candy comes out.
I open
That's
all of my
really
candies or packages of candy like a fucking troglodyte, and I just rip the end off the
Oh, yeah.
box.
I'll do
That's
that
what
too.
I do. Like
Yeah.
a rabid raccoon.
Yeah.
As you're intended
Yeah,
to do.
I chose
As the
troglodyte.
good
instead
Lord
of
intended.
Good. Stop.
All right.
These are not
Here you
good
go.
thank
candies.
No, you have to take. We're
No,
talking about the lemon head.
I'm pre-diabetic. I'm not supposed
I'll
to
take-
have these.
I'm full fledged diabetic. I'm not even like, you know what I mean. It's not HIV. It's full fledged AIDS in my case. So
It's not HIV, but full-blown AIDS.
All right, so Tom, you were talking about how you don't like Lemonhead candies,
these are so good.
and I was talking about how I fucking love Lemonhead candies.
The memories of this lemon pledge is what they taste like. That's
Why do you
what
know
I-
what lemon pledge tastes like?
It's what I imagine lemon pledge to taste like.
Tom's trying to get the Lemonhead down. Good.
It tastes like. I agree with Kristen.
Yeah.
So there's a beer distributor that I used to go to by my mom's house that they had the little boxes of Lemonheads, but they also had the green and the grape and
So what's the green ones? I know.
green apple.
Green
I know
apple. Yeah.
Alexander the grapes.
Mhm.
Did they have the cherry clans, which were racist?
It was racist, but those were
They
good
did
as
not
fuck.
have the cherry.
Cherry chans. or
Yeah,
whatever
cherry
they were.
chans. That's what they were called. Yeah, they're good as fuck though.
Yeah.
Were they cinnamon?
No, they were cherry.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there
and then
was a cinnamon one though.
I don't know. I remember too. Boston
I
baked
told
beans.
you I woke
Is that-
up weird.
Is that,
and
can-
I can't
is that
function.
candy with cherry in the title, cinnamon flavored?
You all
I
right?
told you I woke up weird and I can't function today.
You mentioned one of the worst candies ever. Fucking Boston baked.
Boston
beans.
baked beans. Tom's having issues off
They're
camera
just
here.
peanuts, aren't they? With,
Pretty
like,
much, yeah, with some
coating?
candy. Yep.
You're not gonna get a Boston baked beans. candies. They were candies.
Yeah, no, but they were like they had like peanuts inside, and they had the ones that we got.
The look of, I wish the viewers could see John's face right now.
It's a what you talking about, Willis.
Yes. All right, so while Tom's making the drinks, let's get into the factoids of this album that we're here to talk about. If you haven't guessed, we are here to talk about the Lemonheads. It's a Shame About Ray.
Is this your album?
This is one of my albums, yes. So that's why I'm doing the factoids.
I missed the last episode.
It's okay. You missed a lot, but you should go back and listen.
I will.
You didn't miss much on the last episode.
No,
it was fucking Barry Manilow.
Listen, I was in the middle of a 7-part drama with my Sweet Valley High books that I listened to, my Double Love podcast.
Okay.
And I needed to complete it. Okay. So I will catch up. All will be well.
Did I just lose you for the rest of the episode?
No, I just like these things.
Yeah, I can tell. All right, so the factoids for the Lemonheads is It's a Shame About Ray. This is the 5th album by alt-rock band The Lemonheads, released on 6/2, June 2nd, 1992, just 2 days before my 16th birthday. At the time of principal recording, the band was a trio consisting of Evan Dando, Joanna Hatfield, who later formed the Joanna Hatfield 3, and David Ryan. The original release did not include the cover of Simon & Garfunkel's Mrs. Robinson. That was actually a re-release that they added that onto, which I get into in the factoids later on. The album became an international hit for the band, hitting number 31 on the UK 100 and number 5 overall on the US modern rock tracks. Man, I wish I could read my writing.
You wish it?
I wish I could read
I
my
wish
writing.
it's so hard.
Words are hard today.
Yeah, so I know that the they also had a video for this one of the songs on the album that starred Johnny Depp, and the cover is the actress. Her name is Polly Noonan, and that is her card. Now, Polly Noonan, you may know her best for her role as party guest in the year 2000 movie High Fidelity, which 100% stars Jack fucking Black.
So wait, Homegirl is in High Fidelity?
Homegirl is in High Fidelity. Yeah, she's party guest. You know who else is in
party guest?
Yes,
of course, party guest. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Do you know who else is in High Fidelity?
Who else, Paul?
Jack Black.
Get the fuck
He's
out of here.
in High Fidelity. He is in High Fidelity. Started it, yes, with Polly Noonan. I mean, you know what? We got to go back and listen because I guarantee Zach did not mention Polly Noonan.
I can almost 100% guarantee he did not mention Polly Noonan.
So this album has 3 separate releases, which is pretty crazy. So they had the original release.
Before you keep going, before we move off of the cover, the cover is giving me Kristen vibes.
90s Kristen. Yeah,
I feel like you should have worn a green shirt today, so we could have compared.
He was talking about the not having gray hair in the.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
damn!
I was
Thanks.
being.
Thanks.
I just trimmed all mine off today.
It's my glitter.
Yes, it looks good. Looks good. Hey,
it's too expensive to
40% of my beard
cover
is
it
gray.
every 20 minutes.
I would just like to have hair that could go gray.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I actually consider what I have left. I call it cornstalk blonde. Just really like a white blonde. You know.
Whatever makes you feel better about
Sure,
yourself.
Paul.
Whatever makes you sleep easier.
Sure,
Night.
Jan.
It does, yes. So the album has 3 separate releases, meaning like not individual tracks. Like the actual album was released 3 separate times. The original release has 10 tracks. The re-release is features Mrs. Robinson, and there's a deluxe edition which also came out at the time. Now the Mrs. Robinson cover, it was recorded as a single. And released and celebrated the 25th anniversary of the movie The Graduate. So they decided it was got such good response that they decided to re-release the album and include Mrs. Robinson on that re-release.
Now, real quick, Paul, this album has 3 releases. Do you maybe perchance want to mention the one that you physically have?
That's actually a completely different release. I'm talking about original releases. Okay. I actually we'll get into what I'm doing, which is I have a 30th anniversary edition, but this is these 3 releases all came in. Yeah, it was. Thank you. All came in at around 1992, 93 is when they were all done. The original, the re-release with Mrs. Robinson, and then the deluxe edition. Speaking of Mrs. Robinson, there's actually another cover on this album as well. And it features the song Frank Mills is actually from the Broadway musical Hair. So yeah, so
I did not know that.
Yeah, that is a tribute to Hair or whatever. But yeah, it is from the Broadway musical Hair. This peaked on the U.S. Billboard Top 200 at number 36 in 1992 and was certified gold by the RIAA, selling over 500,000 units. So
have antibiotics for that.
Yes, right. So there is some good stuff going on with this album here. So how we coming? We're getting there. We're getting there. All right,
I'm not gonna lie, Paul. I completely missed the year this album came out.
1992.
92.
Were you born yet? Like, serious question. Were you born yet?
No, I was 90.
Okay.
I was 90. November of 90. I know you said it. I heard you say the fucking date weird, but you said it was two days before your 16th birthday.
6/2/92, June the 2nd, 1992.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's 2 days before I turned 16.
We'll talk about when we get there.
Oh, will we?
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, just we'll talk.
When we get where?
What, to my birthday? Or?
No. We'll talk about when we get to the feelings of the album. We'll talk about. But I just want to make sure I had the date down.
Okay.
For when we get to that.
Well, before we get into the feelings of the album, and before Tom finishes up that drink there, I have another.
I like the sound this makes. Can you guys?
That's weird.
That sounds gross.
So I have another Lemonheads-ish drink for this podcast. It's not a drink. It's actually a beer. Actually, should I do this as drink number 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should. All right, so fuck that. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm jumping
You're jumping segments, Paul.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm actually going to do a bubbly.
This is uncomfortable.
It is a little uncomfortable. I like it though.
Gross.
I think it's cool. I think it's cool. All right, so all right, Adam.
Yes.
I got the gross assortment of fidget toys.
How did you feel about this album since you brought up your feelings?
It's weird. I don't really know what word to describe it. It's not indifference. It's not dislike. It's not like.
Okay.
It's just kind of it's more than a meh, but it's less than a like, if that makes sense.
Okay.
What the reason why I wanted to make
real quick, as you say that, how many times did you listen to it?
At least like 10.
Okay.
Until you hate music.
Yeah. Listening to it, it's the reason I wanted to double check the date that it came out is because listening to it, it sounds very much of the time to me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Even I don't know the name of there's a couple tracks. There's a female backing vocalist.
Mm-hmm. That's Joanna Hatfield.
There is
show me a beer.
listening to it. Pepsi. I would hear her backing vocals, and even her voice just sounds very much of the 90s. Yes. Yep. The album just sounds like. I apologize because I feel like you guys like this album more than significantly more than I do, but listening to it, it just sounds like generic 90s. Okay. Like you talked about on.
Well, here's a question for you: would you say it sounds of the times, or would you say it sounds dated? Because those are two different things.
Of the times, not
of
dated.
The times. Okay. All right.
Of the times, not dated.
Okay.
Listening to it, like you talked about on when you guys did the random record of the Goo Goo Dolls.
Uh-huh.
You were talking about how the Goo Goo Dolls, you for a little bit you didn't know the difference between the Goo Goo Dolls and the Gym Blossoms.
Absolutely, yes.
Listening to this on the way up here, it reminded me of Soul Asylum.
I can see that. No, yeah. I can see that. No, absolutely.
I was and again, Soul Asylum, like I've heard a decent amount of Soul Asylum. Nothing really super stands out to me aside from the songs that I know well because they're in the movie Clerks.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounds like it just sounds very like almost like how you talked about. Was it genre copycat syndrome?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It sounds like bands that I listen to currently. I'm sure were like bands that I'm listening to when my musical taste was budding. I'm sure we're drawing influences from things of this time,
right?
But it sounds like this is already that genre copycat syndrome of the like.
So here's
before like the things I'm listening to should have that sound. This already did when it was coming out.
I think that the copycat syndrome of the 90s alt music actually came from this band. And bands like this. I think it's more of that than I think the Goo Goo Dolls, the Gym Blossoms, Matchbox 20, Third Eye Blind, Hootie and the Blowfish, they all are derivative copycats of what the Lemonheads did. Although the Lemonheads never were huge for what they did. So wait, real quick, what do we got here, Tom?
I say with this fucking rim.
This looks fucking good. We got
fancy.
well rimmed and shit.
Lemon sugar, man.
Lemon sugar.
That's
right.
This is whatever you want to call it. This is
your
what
drink
take on a.
looks different than mine.
What exactly is lemon sugar?
It got So I had the first load of ice in there was starting to melt. So I had more liquid in the shaker, so I couldn't shake it. Like if you give it a super hard shake, you're gonna get little ice crystals and stuff in it too.
Okay.
All right.
Dude, that is perfect.
Yummy.
Oh man, that tastes like.
Oh fuck, dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, dude, we got to think of a cool name for this.
So when I came up early today to do manual labor for Paul because he's inept, and I was like, I need to buy.
Who broke the hammer, bitch?
Yeah, I was like, I need to buy a lighter beer that I could drink outside if it's gonna take a while. This would have been the perfect fucking thing to just like it's fucking like 82 degrees outside.
So what this reminds me of is a nice summer day on the country. In the country, working on the farm, and you go back with some nice lemonade, nice cold lemonade. We got to call this the Country Hipster.
That's fine.
That's what we're calling it. I want it on the menu at the Tier to Know, the legendary Tier to Know on Hamilton.
I feel like drinking this, I want to be sitting on a rocking chair talking about how good it is to own land.
Yes, exactly. What do you think of the drink, Kristen?
I think it's tasty.
No, this is good.
Sick adjectives, Kristen.
Yes. And I don't think it should be a shot either. I actually like it as a drink.
Yeah, it's nice as a drink.
It's a nice summer drink. Yeah,
I
man.
think I would probably need ice in that. It's good.
Well, yeah,
I need it thinned out a little bit.
I don't disagree with that, but I mean, this is delicious, man.
It's like a melted Rita's water.
You know what? Maybe we can. You know what? Here's the thing. All right, I'm gonna try to get.
We put that over ice, and I'm down.
Mm-hmm. I am going to try to not get us sued, and I am going to reach out to Andre Darlington, and I'm going to get this in Booze and Vinyl Volume 3. Volume 3. It's going to be called the Country Hipster, and it's going to be created by bartender Tom Bernhard, Tommy B from New Jersey.
Tom Bernhard.
This is not a different this is a slight twist on an old classic.
That's okay, man. It doesn't listen. I know it doesn't have gin. It doesn't have Jim in it.
Doesn't have Jim in it either.
No gin, no Amaro, no Aperol. No, this is fucking delicious, dude. I'm not just like saying that because you're sitting right next to me.
You talked about having it on ice. I think what would make it even better. It tastes better. I think it would work really well as almost like a slush.
Sure.
Oh no.
Here we go.
It's double.
Do we have to like pump insulin into you or something?
Probably.
Okay. Right into your heart, right?
Yeah. If you stop
just like Pulp Fiction.
Like
You got to stab him 3 times?
Yeah.
No, just
the one place you would never put a needle.
Yeah. That's where I put them all the time.
Right into your heart, right? That's where it goes, isn't it?
You eliminate, start to chew a lemon head. This is actually one of the things that I learned from wine tasting, and maybe you could back me up on this since you have like that culinary background, is like when you're doing like a wine and chocolate tasting, you're not supposed to like straight eat the chocolate. You're supposed to start chewing the chocolate and then you drink the wine. Start to chew your lemon head and then take a sip of that drink.
It's like a soft pretzel and Doritos. You like chew the Dorito a little bit and then you eat the soft pretzel.
I've never done that.
That never happened in
What?
New Jersey.
Yeah.
Soft pretzels, yes.
It's a Northeast Philly thing, I think.
Changes it, right?
Yeah,
Mayfair.
It tastes the same to me.
No, it doesn't. You fucking asshole. All right. This is a winner. This new drink is called the Country Hipster. Go into the Tier to Know on Hamilton Avenue in Trent, New Jersey, every other Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Look for Tom.
Just Saturday, Sunday.
Just Saturday, Sunday.
Just ask Tom for it.
That's right. Jude is Friday. Sorry, Jude. Sorry, don't punch me. And say you want the Country Hipster, and you will get this drink.
What's that? That's the most unsettling thing.
This
is
is
that
gross because this is green, but when you squeeze it, it's like red pustules.
Well, that's what happens when you squeeze something.
Why is it sticky?
No, that is delicious. That is delicious.
Shit.
All right, so back to the album. What were you saying there, sir?
No, just that it's it sounds very much of the times. Listening to this, almost like with the Hooters. I remember listening to the Hooters with Katai and going, if this album came out not in 1985, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me.
Okay, so
Germans love the Hooters, by the way.
But here's the thing where I'm going to say is different, though. The Hooters is dated, and I will say that the Hooters is dated, but I think this is a 90s album, but it's not a dated album.
Oh, no, again, I'm not saying dated.
Right.
I'm just saying it sounds very much of the era it came out in.
Yeah.
Just like how I saw a thing one time that it was talking about it was Cinema Sins on YouTube. talking about some movie that took place in the Vietnam era. And it's like, isn't it crazy how every single song that came out at that time sounds like Vietnam?
Oh yeah, well,
It's because it's of the time.
Yes,
Right.
This sounds like the 90s. This,
yes.
Even like I said, even the female vocalist, like
I was there. Can confirm.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, it just sounds.
Full agreement.
It sounds. It's not. I'm not saying it disparagingly. I'm not saying it as a bad thing. I'm saying it just sounds very much like I know. I could almost pinpoint the exact year. I didn't know until you said it. I didn't know 92, but the second I listened to it, I was like, this came out in the early 90s.
I'm just gonna say, 2-year-old Adam was like, "It's a shame."
Yeah.
About no, you weren't, but you know.
In his little diaper.
Yes.
Like just jamming out.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's not. It's. But again, it's. I don't find it bad.
Mm-hmm.
I find it a little bit on the boring side.
Okay.
But I don't think it's a bad album. I don't think I would listen to this album as like intently as I did for this podcast. I think for me, if I was going to listen to this album in the future, it would be background noise, honestly.
Okay.
Aside from a couple songs.
Okay. So let me ask you something. Would this album, what you heard on this album, would it want you to maybe hear a little bit more of the Lemonheads?
No, not really.
Okay, because what I was actually going to say is I do dig this album, although it is not my favorite Lemonheads album. Come On Fiddle Lemonheads, the album that came out after this, is actually my favorite Lemonheads album, but I don't own that.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why this ended up in there.
Yeah.
If you like this album, I would say go listen to Come On Fiddle Lemonheads.
I would assume listening to this album, I know exactly what Come On Fiddle Lemonheads.
No, it's a little different. I mean, it's of the time, but it's a little different.
Listening to this, I would assume that whatever else they came out with after this is just a carbon copy of it, basically.
It's not a carbon copy, but it is definitely of the times. I personally just think Come On Fiddle Lemonheads is a little bit better of an album. So, Kristen, what did you think of the album?
I like the album. That's why I'm here.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we try
Being
something?
like 16 and 92 or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Because it was like
Right after our 60s, well, because people,
God, you
some
guys are
people,
I am-
old. Fuck you. Kristen is like three decades older than me, but maybe like a week, and then like whatever. I just like to say you're older than me.
So
For
That's
season
your
2,
face.
I
You
don't
guys are
think
only
we
a
should
couple
let
months older than
anybody on the
I'll take
podcast
it.
who likes the album that recover.
Wait, what's this?
what?
For season 2, we shouldn't have people on the podcast
Who liked the album?
who like the album.
I'm
We
gonna
should
be on every episode. Apparently,
we should only have people on the podcast who don't care for the album. Like we should
like have a hater,
I
yeah,
hate this.
it's like
built-in hater on each
like-
episode.
like
Yeah,
every
but,
single
you
guest
know-
that we've had, it's like, oh, obviously that person cares for the album.
But that's the
Honestly,
thing. I
you
sent the
should-
list out, and people were like,
Yeah.
"Okay, these are the albums I know." I'm like, "All right, cool." Which is actually what I wanted. I wanted people who connected to the albums. That's what
Yeah.
I did want in
But
special guests.
yeah.
I'm glad he does because I pretty much hate all the music that we listen to, and not hate, but I don't really enjoy a lot of it.
Mhm.
So I want to hear from somebody who does. Tell me why you liked it because I already don't like it.
See,
I like
See,
hearing the
See,
other.
that's the
Yes.
other thing. Like I would the exact same thing, just on the opposite spectrum. I want to hear someone who obviously Paul and I put
Why don't you just assign them a random album next season?
what?
Just assign people a
that'd be-
random
that'd be
album next
interesting, too.
season.
your guest. You want to guest on a podcast? Cool. I'll let you know what album.
I'll
it's
let
gonna
you
be.
know what album
Well,
it's gonna
that's
be.
actually what I kind of
like you do to me
Oh,
every time.
I see what you're
Don't
saying.
let
All right.
And then it would be hit or miss.
All right. Well, listen, we still have like 7 years of season
Yeah.
1
correct.
left.
Correct.
Yeah, we have time
so
to
we
figure
have
it out.
time to figure out season
Yeah.
My
2.
daughter's going to be the bartender at season 3.
yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
All right.
Yeah. So for me, this is another nostalgic
Uh-huh.
album, and when I haven't thought about this album in a long time, so when I listened to it again, I was like, I don't remember some of these songs.
Okay. I remember you texted me like, I know I had this album, but I
had
don't know
this
any of these
album.
fucking
Yeah,
songs
I
on
don't
here.
remember half of these, but so the ones I do remember were my favorites, though.
Mhm.
Yeah, overall it's a good album, and the more I listen to it, the more I remember that. song.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe I just created a new old lady memory. Who knows?
No, well, it's actually funny you say that.
my dementia's
Yes.
kicking in. Who knows?
It's funny you said it because in the 90s
My dad died of Alzheimer's last year, by the
Oh,
way.
God.
All right,
Oh,
pizza.
Oh, God.
There you go. There you go. No, so it is funny you say that. Like, I did like the Lemonheads. I liked the album when this came out. I loved the Lemonheads in the mid '90s. But then at some point, like early 2000s, I actually fell off. I'm like, I don't know, fuck the Lemonheads. I don't care about
whatever.
the Lemonheads. But it was like right around like 2015 or so, 2015, 2016 or so. I actually rediscovered the Lemonheads. It was like, no, I really do fucking love the Lemonheads. You know what I mean? So it's like, it is one of those things where like how you were saying like, oh, I kind of forgot about this album for a while. I did the same. I actually wrote off the Lemonheads for a while. Now what's crazy is like, so this is like my second favorite Lemonheads album. The other one being Come On Feel the Lemonheads. And I know some of their other stuff, but like the newer stuff they're coming out with is really fucking good. That's why it's like, and it is.
I have to check it out.
It's much more indie rock, much more like modern alt rock. To the point, like I had actually mentioned on the Taylor Swift folklore episode. I know you're good.
In my head, I was trying to remember the order of the colors.
Listen, you know what? I was just happy it was keeping you quiet for 5 minutes, so just keep doing it.
I'm sorry, Paul. Am I not part of this fucking podcast? Did I not get a text message 12 years ago saying, "Hey, do you want to do a podcast about vinyl?"
Yeah, I know you did. But so I did mention about like on the Taylor Swift folklore that there is a direct line there from the indie rock that she was, the indie rock and the alt rock that she was going to the more modern Lemonhead stuff, with the exception of Betty, which actually has the same chord progression as Outdoor Type, which is a Lemonhead song that's actually on neither one of those albums. But
it's on your third favorite Lemonheads album.
Actually, I don't even know what Lemonhead's album is. I just know it's not on It's a Shame About Ray
really likes,
and Come On Phil the Lemonheads.
This album also made me want to go listen to Juliana Hatfield again.
Yes.
So like I was listening to her on the way here.
That's awesome. I think
so cute.
Yes. Tom, your thoughts on this album? Since you are actually you're not as old as me and Kristen here. We're like us old timers, but you are not that far behind us.
I was the next year from after you guys. That's why I'm taking every chance to call you guys the old people.
I know.
I'm literally the oldest person in this room.
But I'm October 77. Like you guys aren't that much older than me. It's a couple months. We're not talking huge years, but I'm going to take every chance to call you guys old. So.
Oh shit.
I'm kind of with Adam on this. The music, I don't love this album. It's okay. It reminds me of a million other bands, like when we were, because I remember this style of music. I remember but I kind of agree with you where you're saying a lot of the bands kind of like these guys, this was their sound, and a lot of people maybe kind of copied that because that's what they were, their contemporaries or whatever.
Which I think is interesting because like when you think of like the copycat syndrome, usually there is that band, right? It was Nirvana, it was the Beatles, those were the band that, and then everybody tried to be like, you know, the copycats of that. The 90s, like I think a lot of those bands became the copycats of the Lemonheads, but the Lemonheads weren't that band. You know what I mean? They were just like,
where'd they come from?
Exactly. But they were just, and they were just kind of like not as popular. I mean, they had It's a Shame About Ray. They had the Mrs. Robinson.
That's what I mostly know them for. Is you hear that cover a bunch of places.
But like they're the band that like I think a lot of those bands imitated. You know, they took it a little bit of a different direction. I'm not saying they're an exact carbon copy, but I do think that the Lemonheads definitely had to have inspired that like mid 90s to late 90s alt rock sound, like 100%.
When I listen to this album, I don't remember ever listening to this particular album. I never I've never picked up a Lemonhead or Lemonhead's record and just, you know, hey, let me check these guys out or let me pick them on Spotify. I don't see me doing it after this.
Okay.
But I remember, the music that was coming out in the 95, 96, 97.
Yep.
And it was the same sound. It was you guys mentioned the Gin Blossoms and whatever, but it's like Sean Colvin and like, right? Like, any one of those songs that he did, that could have easily been a Lemonhead song.
Yes, no, absolutely. And
I didn't realize that this album came out in 1992. So to me, this is before a lot of the shit in my head that I can think of, like this sound. These guys were definitely, if they weren't the first, they were
one of the first, if not the first.
They were originals. Yep. That being said, I don't really love the album, but in 1992, I was a huge Pantera, Biohazard, Sepultura, like that's what I listened to. Yeah. Anthrax, fucking punk music too, but so this music didn't do anything for me back then, and it's still kind of don't really do anything. It's all right.
Well, I'll be honest with you.
Tolerable.
Yep. If I didn't hear Mrs. Robinson, I don't know that I would have like heard the song "It's a Shame About Ray." But I think "It's a Shame About Ray" became popular because of Mrs. Robinson. The Wikipedia didn't list the order in which the singles came out, so I don't actually know if "It's a Shame About Ray" came out before Mrs. Robinson.
I feel like it did.
It might have, but like I discovered that after the fact. Like if it really was not, if it wasn't for Mrs. Robinson, I don't know that I would have necessarily discovered the Lemonheads. Maybe I would have.
The only thing I've ever known up until listening to this album was was the Mrs. Robinson cover. I have the Mrs. Robinson,
which is an excellent cover.
Yeah, I have that cover on the playlist that I play on my phone all the time in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Up until then, I had no fucking like. I've been seeing this album cover for 2 years because it pops up on the whatever anniversary edition.
Yeah, I will tell you that I didn't realize that was Patty Noonan from High Fidelity, which also stars Jack Black.
Yes.
Polly Noonan, thank you, whatever. I don't really care. I just want to point out that Jack Black was in
Correct.
High Fidelity,
Yeah.
and Zach forgot to mention it. But
Does he
I
listen
actually,
to this podcast?
yeah, he actually does.
Okay.
I actually,
say, like, is he even knowing that you're?
oh, he knows. He,
blasting him?
you know how I know he knows it? He doesn't mention it. Yeah. Adam's like, oh yeah, no, that's true. Yes. So he doesn't mention that we keep putting out that Jack Black was in High Fidelity.
Or he's just not listening.
No, he's listening because I get texts about other things. He actually texted me about the Alkaline Trio podcast, and like he's like, hey, he'll like interject little texts me, which I appreciate.
Every once in a while, I'll get texts from Zach on like albums that were choices of mine that he's a very big fan of. Like Zach wholeheartedly came onto the Taking Back Sunday episode expecting to have to
defend Taking Back
Sunday to Paul, and Paul was kind of indifferent. / there's a couple good songs on this album, so I think that kind of threw him off. But like, there's been a couple,
and then the fact he fell asleep.
Yeah, the fact that he got pissed drunk.
I love that.
Yeah,
it happens sometimes.
There's a couple times where like there's albums that he really likes. For instance, Good Morning by Alkaline Trio, where he like has texted me like, oh, what did Paul think? Like, I've told him what we're covering, and the first thing he says to me is, "What did Paul think of it?"
That's funny. Actually, I'm just gonna bring it up because I actually don't have that many text messages from Zach that I won't be able to find it. We don't really talk much of
Zach
as a family.
I'd say of season 1 and season 2, I'd probably argue that Paul and I talk the most.
Yeah, probably. Actually, where the fuck is it?
I mean,
even outside the
text
podcast.
with my brothers where we discuss my mother's health.
There you go. No, you know what? Actually, I think I have.
But we don't talk to my sister.
Can I fucking have one of these?
Well, that's actually the next drink we're getting to. Okay, bring it up.
You
bring it up.
fucking
Bring it
hurry
up.
up.
Bring them out.
Yeah. How
Here you
about
go. Boom.
what about jumping segments, Dick?
No,
What's
it's
happening?
okay. It's okay. Because we're just about due for that.
Dude, Adam likes to.
You're getting one too.
I've been
Yay.
fucking looking for these.
Yeah, take it.
Yeah, they're
We're
seasonal,
all good.
man.
Hold on,
I'm gonna not be able to drive.
Well, you're gonna
home.
drink this.
I'm gonna, but I have another beer.
I have a roll in my car from Wawa.
There you go. All right, so
just a classic roll.
It is. It's a shorty, buttered shorty. Came with my mac and cheese.
So since Adam has pushed us to our second B&V drink, so what I was able to pick up here, so there is a beer out of Rhode Island called Narragansett.
I think it's out of Milwaukee.
Well, maybe now, but originally it was
Back in the day.
back in the day. And I love Narragansett.
Even worse.
Excuse
It's
me.
Rochester, New York.
Oh, that's it. Yeah,
Rochester.
that is
Right.
was
Home of
so.
syphilis and
This is
ice skating.
I've described Narragansett to people as New England PBR.
So if you see the movie Jaws and you see Quint drinking the beer on the boat, he's drinking Narragansett. He's drinking a Gansett. I love Narragansett. It is the best thing to come out of New England.
Did
So
I
True.
ever tell you? So one year
and we sell it at the Tiernanog.
Yeah,
one
there you
year
go.
for Halloween, my ex dressed up our older son as a shark, and she's like, "Oh, you could dress up as like a lifeguard." And I'm like, "No. If I'm gonna dress up like anything, I'm gonna dress up
Quint.
like Quint
yeah.
because that beer that costume requires me to always have a Narragansett with me."
Wait, so actually, I am going to open this up, and I'm going to say this because it's funny. As I had a friend of mine, and he actually just gave me a tree to plant, who had a child that was born who passed away, and the child's name is Quint. So let's give it up to Quint.
Fuck yeah.
Yep.
No, wait.
Yep. Quint. But what I actually have here is a Narragansett.
Fuck, that's good.
It's a shandy. It's a Dell's lemonade shandy. Now, if generally shandies are a pale ale or a pilsner or something like that mixed with lemonade. It's a real refreshing drink. Probably the most popular one in our area is the Langenkugel's Summer Shandy.
Yeah.
which is delicious. What?
Leinenkugel?
Yeah.
Leinenkugel.
Whatever. I don't fucking care.
I'm pretty sure he mixed Langhorn into the beginning.
Yeah.
Of it.
Hey,
It was weird.
listen. I just
Langhornkugel.
Listen,
Yeah.
he kept saying Tom Rivers when he was talking about
I know.
that other album.
Listen, I hear it.
And I said, like, he sounds like a lawyer. Tom Rivers.
Tom Rivers. Yes. Hey, listen. If anything, we
Tom
always
Rivers
get
lawyer.
interesting pronunciations on the Country Hipster podcast.
Do we ever?
Yes, we do.
We sure do.
Listen,
Hughes doesn't help it.
It's part of the charm. Sometimes it gets bad. I know.
Yeah.
No, so this is in our area. Like I said, it's the Langenkugels. However you guys want to fucking say it.
Leinenkugel.
There's summer shandy. Whenever I go into a bar, I just say, "Give me a summer shandy," and I know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's like in the area. If you want a Yingling lager,
Yeah,
you
you
just
walk
say,
in and say a
"Give me a
lager,"
lager."
they give you
Did I ever-
Yingling.
So one time the Birmingham Six was playing in like a North Jersey beach town.
You've told this story. Move on.
Wow!
Very aggressive.
Are you my wife, motherfucker?
So
Jesus
aggressive.
Christ! All right, so fuck you guys.
No. But
Season 2.
so one time
No.
Paul went to a bar, asked for a lager. They're like, "What kind?" He's like, "Oh, I forgot I wasn't in Philly." Yada yada yada. Continue.
I forgot I was.
Jesus Christ.
So
Damn.
I just wanted to point out
I was cold.
that season 2 of the Country Hipster podcast will be a solo.
Yeah. Tom is now
Tom and
the
I will
second
be on.
second host.
Yeah.
We'll be on.
I'll still be the bartender.
I may be-
Kristen's going to be taking over.
I'll be
Jesus
taking over
Christ.
for Adam next
All right.
season.
So this is a Narragansett Dell's Shandy, which I was trying to. It is a refreshingly different beer. So this is Dell's Lemonade and Narragansett beer, made on honor, and it is delicious. So
There's a whole story on the side.
Hey, they
Is
have
there-
they have a variety
neighbor.
pack, which I
Great
recommend.
grandfather DeLucia made his first frozen lemonade back in Italy in 1840.
Thank God Kristen's reading it.
I can read.
During the winter, he carried snow into nearby caves and insulated it with straw. When summer arrived, he mixed the snow with fresh local lemon juice and sugar, making a refreshing drink.
Ew.
oh, wait a minute.
They were like, he picked up the mulch
was
and
like
fed
a
it to the children.
They were drinking the yellow snow.
Legit snow cones, people.
He took the mulch and he fucking made something fun out of it.
His grandson Angelo introduced this icy treat to Rhode Island in 1948.
So they eat the yellow snow
I'm
in
not
Rhode
doing
Island.
numbers.
People in Boston.
And
Yes.
today there are over 30 Dell stands across America.
Yeah.
Gansett is proud to present this delicious shandy with a perfect balance of Narragansett lager and lemon
Lager.
flavor.
Lager.
And lemon flavor. It's refreshingly different.
No, this is good. You had mentioned when I had said I got this, you're
Told
like the
you, work so
watermelon is
hard.
better. Which the watermelon is better.
They make a
The watermelon shandy
there's
is
a
way
variety
better.
pack. The black cherry one's okay.
I haven't had that.
It's not bad.
Mhm.
I think it's 4 of each of the 3 flavors.
Okay.
And the lemon and then the watermelon one, which I could drink all the time. They're so
Mhm.
good.
I didn't even know the watermelon existed until like I spent a weekend in Providence, Rhode Island, and I went to a bar and I was like, "Oh fuck, they have a
Yeah.
watermelon shandy." Yes, give me that. You know, what
I say,
mean? So-
which you
I had never
how
seen
many,
it
I don't
until
know
I
how
saw
many
the
times
variety
you've
pack.
said on the podcast how big of a fan you are of Hell or High Watermelon.
I am.
That's
I said that
Your
seems like it's
chickens.
Go for it.
right up your fucking alley. There used to be a by where I live.
Don't talk shit about me.
There was a bar
Too
called
late.
the Humeville Inn that they always had.
I'll hear it when I listen.
Way out in the nowhere lands, there's this bar called
Yeah.
the Humeville Inn.
There was they always
Sir.
they
Yeah.
always had Del Shandy on the fucking menu, and I would always literally I would see it. First thing I do is go up and order a Del Shandy, and it was always we literally just sold the last one or something like that. So I've been fucking trying and because Paul turned me on to Narragansett, so I've been fucking looking for this beer for a very long fucking time, and I'm happy that I fucking have it because it's really fucking good.
I only ever by me in New Jersey. We only ever see it in the variety packs, and it's worth picking up. But I went to look for some many moons ago. We had talked on the podcast. We had mentioned it before, and I had said, "Hey, I'll grab them for you when I see them."
Mm-hmm.
Ain't fucking seen them since.
Yeah. Yep.
Because they legit are seasonal and
yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. No, I do love these. I love a shandy in general, but this is probably my favorite shandy, hands down. Like if I have the choice
I
between,
don't like the Leinenkugel one.
I like it.
I
like it.
don't really care. I think, in my opinion, the Leinenkugel, the grapefruit is better than the lemon,
My daughter is 8 years old, right, and doesn't know anything about anything.
and she hates the Leinenkugel.
No,
Langenkugel
she'll
or
drink
Langenkugel?
fucking fake lemonade though. Like you'll get a Minute Maid lemonade.
Oh yeah.
That's what the fucking Leinenkugel one tastes like. It's got that weird plastic aftertaste
See,
that I associate with fake fucking lemonade.
The Leaning Krugel Shandy tastes to me like how you describe how Lemonheads taste.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Okay.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and Lemonheads do 100% taste like lemon pledge, like somebody sprayed it in my mouth.
So in the same vein, but not the same type of drink, but in the same like idea, how do you feel about a Radler?
A what?
Oh, I'm good with that.
Radler?
But I don't think that's a lager, right? Isn't that a
It's usually Pilsner and like Sprite, pretty much for the most part. Which the first time I had a Radler was at a I forget what
the
it's
German
called.
club. They got the grapefruit one. You see, there's several.
Yeah, the first time I ever had one, it was actually down at a German restaurant on Market Street in Old City in Philly, which is it's closed now, so I don't even feel bad about not plugging them because fuck them, they're closed. No, I fucking I saw this Radler. I'm like, what the fuck is Radler? I drank it. I ended up drinking it all night. It was fucking delicious. I fucking love a Radler.
Take a lemon head. Don't eat the lemon head. Just start to chew the lemon head.
Okay.
And then drink the Del Shandy.
Yeah? Does it change it?
No.
Take one of the lemon heads and put it in your pee hole.
Yeah.
And then drink the shandy.
That would burn.
How do you know if you haven't tried it?
Yeah, but it burns.
Who says I haven't tried it?
Okay.
It burns
Fair.
good.
Yes. Yes,
I haven't
yep.
tried it.
Yep.
Only my doctor is allowed to touch my pee hole.
That Kristen, what a bitch.
Why? No, goddamn you, Kristen. Why are you taking so long? No, so all right. So one of the things I do like about this album, and I feel bad that she's not here, but we got to keep going. We can't keep. We can't. Not really.
Yeah, the timer set.
100%. She's just dropping a deuce, right? She's
set
straight
the timer.
laying cable.
All right.
Absolutely dropping heat right now.
So there's a really strong
taking the Browns to the Super Bowl, as they say.
So there's a really strong string of tracks on this album. Tracks 2, 3, 4, and 5 are like
powering through.
Yeah, I know.
Just gonna keep talking. I'm gonna look up just out of curiosity what 2, 3, 4, and 5 are.
It's I want to say I'm gonna try to do this off of memory. It's Confetti. It's a Sham About Ray. Rudderless and My Drug Buddy, right? Okay, cool. Which is
Correct.
A very strong set of tracks, right? Bang, 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 right in the middle of the album. If I think what I would have done is I actually would have moved
in the middle of the album, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Right. But what I would have done is moved Bit Part and Allison Starting to Happen up a track. And then I think this album would have actually elevated, even though it was
I'm sorry. Say what
I would have made track 6. I would have made Bit Part, and track 7 I would have made Allison Starting to Happen. I think if you do that, actually, people would have looked at this album in a different sense.
So, are you jumping segments again and completely getting rid of the Turnpike Down?
No. I'm just saying I would put Turnpike Down at 7.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. I would. No, you didn't.
I thought you were just like completely jumping seconds, be like, "Fuck Turnpike Down."
No, not at all. I'm just saying what I would do is I would redo the tracks because I'm okay with the first song, especially as an opening song on the album because it gets your attention. But then you have those 2, 3, 4, and 5 that are just like hit. And so then you have Turnpike Down, which kind of is a little bit of a down, and then you have Bit Part and Allison Starting to Happen, which are the up songs in my opinion. So I would have actually just put those 6 songs together right in the middle. And I think if that happened, people probably look at this album in a different way. I still like it. I still think there are some other great tunes on this album. What are you doing?
Taking a note, motherfucker.
Okay. All right. So, but
Tom is moving the tracks.
Can we talk about how?
Take a note. Move the tracks.
Can we talk about how we've all become notebook people?
It is, yeah. Thank you, Tom.
I started it.
Paul had a legal pad.
I have the legal pad.
You had this.
Like a notebook.
Tom's got a little spiral guy.
Uh-huh.
Someone gave this to me, but what I'm really excited about is this beautiful fucking notebook that fucking Tom gave to me.
This is pretty awesome, yeah.
It's fucking, but like this fucking cover though?
It's too nice to write in.
Look at the inside of the thing. There's
the best.
Flip through the page, there's a little bird flying.
Yeah, Tom showed me there's a little fucking...
It's like, it's definitely too nice to write
Kristen,
in.
would you like one of those?
Oh, that is great. Yeah,
All
she
right,
wants one of those.
I got one for you. I got one for you too.
Tom's just making it rain, fucking Redbreast whiskey. Fucking...
Look, we had our liquor rep was in the one day, and he was like, "Hey, here's all these giveaways." That was the stuff that nobody took.
They're so nice, though.
They took all the, the plastic sunglasses and the necklaces and shit. And I was like, "I'll take the notebooks, thank you."
We'll take the notebooks and the little fidget toys.
Yeah,
I like this.
Shout out to Redbreast whiskey, by the way.
There you go.
Thanks,
that Redbreast 12 was one of the best whiskeys around for $70 a bottle.
I probably would have puked if I drank it.
Where's Redbreast made?
In Ireland. It's Irish whiskey.
Okay.
It's made.
It's
It's
I didn't know that.
yeah. It's owned and operated by the same company. It's Irish Distillers, same company that makes Middleton's, Jameson, Towers,
Cool.
all that shit.
I actually did not.
Now-
I actually did
now
not
that- now
know
I'm
Redbreast
curious.
was an Irish whiskey.
I'm very curious now.
Yeah.
I'm a walking encyclopedia of Irish whiskey because of my job. So
Yes.
I got it for you, buddy.
So this album here, like I said, it came out when Kristen and I were 16 years old. This is one of those albums that is like, it reminds me of my youth, my teen years, end of high school, and the world was my oyster before I got my girlfriend pregnant.
Yeah.
So, it is really,
We've all been there,
we
Paul.
call
yeah,
that
yeah, we have. Yeah, we have.
They call
So-
that the Weiss method.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not me.
It is definitely like this album. Just for me, it just feels good. Kristen, I know you two motherfuckers haven't, but Kristen, have you ever seen them live?
I have not.
You have not. Okay.
No, they were just around.
First off-
They
recently.
were.
It was like a 30th
First off,
anniversary.
don't fucking assume what shows I've seen live, motherfucker.
I know you have not.
I
I've
mean,
never seen one.
Yeah,
live.
exactly.
You
Exactly.
never guessed
definitely
that I
have
saw
not seen
Britney
them live.
Spears live.
I would guess that.
You would guess that?
Yeah.
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 Really?
That's plausible.
Yeah.
Britney Spears? You would
Uh-huh.
think I would like have
It's
seen it?
plausible.
I'm gonna
Also,
go-
I'd go see her. What the
I'm
I
hell?
literally did.
I'm gonna say-
with
I'm
a 4-year-old on my lap.
I'm gonna go as far as say circus tour.
I don't know.
Nah,
my
I
niece.
bet you-
My
I bet
niece
you it was.
my niece is like 25 and she was like 5 or something at the time. So
So
Maybe in circus.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
nothing wrong with it.
and Brittany like
it was in Atlantic City, right?
It was it was in Atlantic City. She
Yeah.
like came out of the ceiling and like did all these flips in the air.
That sounds like a circus to
And
me.
my niece was like, "It's too loud," so she sat in my lap and just stared at the stage the entire time. And then at one point, she was like, "I'm ready to go. Let's go." So
Yeah.
we just went home.
Hey, there you go.
On the topic of
Beat the
Britney
traffic.
Spears,
Yeah, it was
Katai has recently
She'd had enough.
Katai's new favorite thing is to send me whenever Britney Spears posts something batshit crazy on Instagram.
Oh,
She sends it to me
So
to
wait,
the point where like I'll be sitting across the
Leave
room from her and
Brit
I'll show her my
alone.
phone and be like, "What the fuck are you saying?"
have you started
Leave
dating
her
your
alone.
ex-wife? I'm just,
Yeah,
leave
yeah,
Britney
okay,
I did, yeah.
alone.
yeah, that's fucking stupid.
No. See, my ex-wife would have never sent me the batshit crazy Britney shit because she would have been like, "Oh, that's sad." Katai sends it because like, look at this fucking nonsense
Oh,
that's
okay.
happened.
All right.
It's so sad.
It is very sad.
Poor Brittany.
So, I did get to see the Lemonheads, not Britney Spears. I got to see the Lemonheads in 2019, and I was not disappointed. It was at the Foundry, which, if people aren't familiar, there is the Fillmore in Philly, which I'm going to in June to see Frank Turner. I'm very excited about that. But they have this little club upstairs called the Foundry. What?
Hey, I'm your brother Adam, who fucking enjoys Frank Turner.
I'm going with my wife.
I don't give a shit.
You can-
I'll fucking third wheel it.
Go ahead, third wheel. Get your ticket, June
Get a ticket.
22nd at the Fillmore.
You should have fucking told
I
me.
can't go
I'm
with
telling you now, June 22nd at the Fillmore. Frank Turner is
What
playing
day is
former
that?
Philly. It's a Saturday,
Saturday.
motherfucker. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
actually
Yeah,
could
I
go.
might be able to go.
That's why I can't go.
So so the Foundry is a little like club. It probably fits like 500 people, but like compared to the
Are we talking like a truck balcony type thing?
kind of yeah,
Okay.
but a little bit bigger. Whereas you have the Fillmore, which probably fits about 3,000 people. But so I got to see the Lemonheads at the Foundry. And what was kind of cool is as I was getting there and about to go into the place, Evan Dando, the singer of the Lemonheads, actually walked past us. I didn't get a chance to like talk because like he walked past. I'm like, oh fuck, is that Evan Dando? And the door guy's like, who the fuck is Evan Dando? And I'm like, that was just the singer of the band.
I've often thought about that, like going to concerts. Like one time, I saw a friend of the podcast, Brand New, and Thrice was opening for them.
Okay.
And I remember the security guard who was on the gate, like really, like he like very obviously was a fan of Thrice. Like I've always been curious of like I wonder how much the staff at venues are into the bands that are playing.
I think a lot of times they don't know or they
Yeah.
don't realize. I mean, I'm sure if it's someone they like, they
Yeah.
I think they just wear earplugs.
Yeah, exactly. Now, so I've said this before that sometimes whether or not I go see a band is somewhat determined by who the opener is. And in this case, which I will say that the fucking Lemonheads did a phenomenal fucking show, and I'm so glad I went to the show. But one of the things that kind of put me over the top, like why do I want to see, is Tommy Stinson from The Replacements was the opener.
Oh, okay.
So that was fucking cool. And I knew the bartender who was working the Foundry, so I got free drinks all night.
It sounds like it was coming up Millhouse that night.
It was.
Everything's coming up.
The only thing that happened is I didn't get laid that night. But it
It
was.
could have been worse, Paul. Could have been raining.
It got bad. It's okay though. But it was a great show. They fucking played great. They did all the hits. They did everything I absolutely wanted to hear the Lemonheads did. They did. And what was kind of cool about that, and you've said this about me when I perform, they didn't really talk. You know, because I know you've said that's one of the things you like about, like, when I perform, I just play. And that is what the Lemonheads did. They just came out and were like, boom, the boom, the boom, the boom, the boom.
Yeah,
I feel like the good thing about the Lemonheads is that they sound the same live as they do on their albums. Probably.
Very similar. It was so I actually hate that when you go to see a band and it is the exact same thing as the album. I hate that. Because, like, then I could have listened to the album and saved myself some money. I already bought the album.
I don't think that. I think, oh wow, this is not like all fucked up.
No. But that's different. That's different.
Like, seen people and you're just like, oh my god, this is terrible.
Well, yes, like the Smashing Pumpkins. When I saw Smashing Pumpkins,
I love their music on like whatever. But
the way I've always looked at it is
live.
if a band sounds exactly like the album, I look at it in the sense of like, oh wow, that band is very. That's a tight fucking group. Like that's how I think about it. Well fucking.
But there's nuances.
I mean, they don't have to sound exactly like the album, but as long as they sound like close. To,
I appreciate them
their
being
album.
tight and fucking good at what they do.
Yes.
But I appreciate I explained to my daughter. I think I've talked about on the podcast. I bought her records for Christmas, and she was talking about how it skips. And she was like, "Oh, now I have to throw it away." I'm like, "You don't throw away a record that skips.
No, give it to me. I'll sell it."
That just becomes part of the character of your specific. No one else on the world has an album that skips at that point. Seeing a band live that has that subtle nuance to what they're playing,
and the thing is
like I'm the only person in the world who's seen that and performed that way.
But those nuances aren't necessarily different than the album. They're just, you can tell.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If it's exactly like the album, I'm not happy. If it is as good, actually usually better than the album, that is like one of the bands who did that was Not a Surf. I went to see Not a Surf and they were doing an anniversary tour of my favorite Not a Surf album, Let Go. Mm-hmm. Right. And they played it track for track for track. It's the only Not a Surf album where I can say I actually know track for track for track. And it was to the album, but it wasn't exactly like the album, but it was better than the album. That's what I mean. Like that's what I don't want to see the album when I go see a band play. I want to see better than the album. Yeah. And those little nuances of seeing a band live, that makes it better than the album. You know?
I think what my favorite nuance of seeing a band play live is, when you record, when they record in the studio, something sounds fucked up. They cut it together with something else. They record a bunch of fucking takes. I think my favorite nuance is where when they discover they write a song, they play it in the studio, it sounds perfect, and then they play it live and they realize that they need to catch their breath somewhere.
Yeah.
Those are I think my opinion are the best nuances.
Those are awesome. Yeah.
Where they figure out where they have to find
a company
their breath.
to say the word nuance over and over.
Maybe.
I think we are.
Okay.
Yes.
I
actually, what does nuance mean? I don't even know. I'm pretty dumb. Am I saying it correctly?
Are you pronouncing?
No, you're using it in the right context.
I'm sponsored by the word nuance.
Clearly, Big Nuance has got to check to the country hipster podcast.
Every time we say nuance, we get 50 cents. Yeah. So, and you bitches don't get any of that.
Joke's on you. What if every time we say nuance, like someone donates money to like a children's cancer fund?
That's okay.
Lead with that, you fucking jerk off.
Why don't you just say that?
Fair.
Fuck cancer.
Yeah, you're doing a real bad job of saying the word if that's the case, you
died
asshole.
from a brain tumor. Come on.
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
Jesus
Debbie Downer
Christ.
over here.
Yeah.
Jesus.
AJ.
Yep, here's to that kid.
R.I.P. AJ.
But that is, I think, one of the things that makes like seeing a band live better, and they tend to be.
I would say nuance over and over again.
There you go.
Jesus. All right. Anyway,
I would say that like a lot of times too, when you see a band live and they're playing the music, the emotion's actually more so there.
Yeah.
A lot of times in the studio that gets kind of pulled back, and it's not as out there. It's not out there. You know what I mean? It's not as in your face. One of the reasons is because you're trying to make a good track and get something that's in tune. Whereas when you're live, people don't care that you're a little bit off tune.
Yeah.
They don't care that you're a little bit off key if you're singing with passion.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Listening to, if you listen to the album, if you go on Apple Music or where I'm sure wherever the fuck you listen to music, and listen to the soundtrack of Hamilton.
Okay.
Listening to that soundtrack and then going on Disney Plus and watching the performances of it,
or actually seeing the play,
or actually seeing it.
Yes.
When they recorded the album of it, it was way early, if not even before the run of the production. And then watching the performances of it, they figured out where to take their breaths, where to draw stuff out for applause or laugh or something like that.
All right, so here's what I need to tell you.
Nuance, if you will.
Here's what I need to tell you.
I was thinking it. I wasn't going to say it.
Nuance.
I'm going to ruin this for you. Okay, so because when I worked in the movie industry,
when I was in the
when I was a big movie guy, one of the things that we did was event cinema, and we did operas and plays and ballets and stuff like that. So here's the thing is, and I know it, you know, from being in the industry. So Hamilton, the one that's on Disney Plus, they actually
also get
that is not a Modest Mouse thing. That is, say his right name. Jesus. So that is not that whole thing is not live from that performance that they say it is.
No, it's two different performances.
It is, because what they do,
they cut it with and without an audience.
Right, because and every one of those things, they film the dress rehearsal and then they film an actual live performance, and then they intersplice them. So all those shots where they're getting into people's faces and you're like, wow, how did they get that during the live thing? Well, because they did it during the fucking dress rehearsal. That's how they did it. Yeah. So you know, you lose something.
I almost
sometimes.
worked with you in that movie.
You did.
And then the company went out of business.
It did.
You lose the nuance.
You lose the nuance of the live performance.
I will hire you.
Also, yes.
And then went out of business.
Also, which is kind of cool, and I didn't realize this, like when I saw Hamilton, when Alexander Hamilton comes out and they do it on Disney, it just keeps going through it. When he actually comes out, like they have the whole thing, Aaron Burr's doing the intro, and it's like, and he comes out, Alexander Hamilton. Actually, people clap, and the conductor stops.
Yeah,
he stops and lets them clap, and it's like a good 30-second fucking applause.
Same thing. When you watch the thing on Disney Plus, when I can't remember the actor's name, but the actor who plays George Washington, when he's first
Daniels.
Jeff Daniels, is that what you said? When the actor,
he was a good George Washington.
There's like a Ben Franklin thing with like Kurt Russell as Ben Franklin, or like something weird.
But the same thing you said when the actor who plays George Washington on the Disney Plus thing, when he comes out, there's like a 15-second pause for.
I don't remember that when I saw it. I don't think anybody gave a fuck about George Washington when I saw it.
Watch Disney Plus, motherfucker.
Well, no, I watch Disney Plus all the time, but like I'm saying, when I saw the actual live performance, I don't think they clapped for George.
I'm Paul. I've
George
seen
Washington.
Hamilton live.
I have. I didn't see it on Broadway though. Did I ever tell you that story? Did I tell you that story? Or you're gonna fucking tell me you've told this story like 30 times.
Told a story about Hamilton on the podcast.
Well, no, I was. It was the weekend I was spending up in Providence, Rhode Island, where I had this. I was with my youngest Ethan, who is a huge. I think you tell the story. Yeah, a huge Hamilton fan, and it was on the touring company, and they were in Providence, Rhode Island the weekend we were there.
You could just keep them there.
And I just figured, I'm like, hey, let's just stop by the theater. You can look at the signs and stuff like that.
He's a diabetic.
And
diabetic. They're yours.
And so like I went up to the ticket booth just as an asshole, like totally thinking like it's sold out. I was like, hey, you got any day of tickets or anything? They're like, well, no, but we got these obstructed seats for tomorrow night's performance, and they're only like $50. I'm like, you fucking assholes. That was not what you were supposed to say.
Yeah.
So Ethan's looking at me like, what? I'm like, I guess we're going to Hamilton tomorrow night. Here's my credit card. So that's how I got to see Hamilton.
Wow. I'll say, my Katai randomly texted me out of the blue like a couple months ago. Katai has never expressed in fact, she's expressed disdain for musical theater.
Oh, that's why I hate her.
And just texted me out of the blue one day and said, oh shit, Wicked tickets are too expensive. I'm like, since when the fuck do you care
Oh, that was a good show,
about musical theater? And I was like, all right, let me look it up. And like, I think like a regular ticket was like $100 or something like that.
Yeah, theater's expensive.
And I found obstructed view tickets for like $40.
Yep.
And I was like, cool. We're going to see Wicked.
Yeah. Cool.
Obstructed view tickets.
Where are you going to see that?
We are. This was this past October.
Oh, it was Katai?
Yeah. There's actually a website online. I forget what the website is now. There's a website you can go on type in the venue, type in your seat, and it will show you the
perspective
I've from where your seat is. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I knew what I was walking into before I bought I bought the tickets.
What's kind of great is there is actually a ticket booth in Broadway. If you go up to New York, right, you want to see a Broadway show, you go and they have day of tickets called TKS or something like that. It's a booth, and you walk up and they will have listed on like the sign the tickets they have available for that night's shows.
Right.
That's how I got to see Les Mis on Broadway. It was like we went and like we're like, oh fuck, Les Mis is available. I'm like, that's one of my favorites. And so I got to see Les Mis on Broadway, and they were like fucking, last 5 rows in the theater.
Yeah.
But I still got to see Les Mis on Broadway, and I was super fucking excited about that and they were like $20 a ticket.
Yeah.
It was like, I mean, this was late 90s, you know what I mean? So ticket
early season 1.
Early season 1,
yes.
Yes. Early season 1 in the late 90s when Adam was 8 years old and had 5 kids.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So all right. So we've been talking about a lot of other shit here, which is okay.
We're here to talk about the Lemonheads.
We do that. My favorite.
How are you guys feeling about the album? Tom, do you have anything else to say about the album? No,
it's all right.
Wait, what?
Kristen, what else? Do you have anything else to add?
I distracted her.
I know. Do you have anything else to add about this album here? No? Okay, cool. We're very, very much in the solidarity of
we like
1992.
This. We're nostalgic.
Yes, boom.
Yeah, boom.
There it is. Adam, you got anything else to add besides the fact that you're
just same thing I always say. Listen to the fucking album, form your own opinion. Don't listen to what me and Paul say because we're assholes. Kristen, Tom, they're assholes by association.
We're assholes.
But there's someone who's not an asshole, Paul.
Yes.
Someone whose opinion matters more than anyone at this table aside from Tom, who had to go take a piss.
I guess that's what
There's a sweet baby angel upstairs.
Yes.
And what does she think about this album?
So this album with Regina almost became an indifferent.
Okay.
Because when I first put it on, we were driving around and she just wasn't.
You were driving around?
We were driving around. And she just really wasn't into it, right? She was just kind of like whatever. Like she didn't hate it. Like I knew she didn't hate it because she wasn't freaking out. She was just doing her thing. But then Hannah and Gabi came on. And it became a like. She started clapping. She started singing. She started she was listening to the album at that point. And so we had listened to it a few times after that. And from the beginning.
Did you say Hannah and Gabi?
He said Hannah and Gabi.
Hannah and Gabi.
I don't know. Isn't that the name of the song?
It's Hannah and Gabi.
Yeah, I say Hannah and Gabi.
Are you sure it's
Gabi?
It's not Gabi.
I'm an American.
Yeah, whatever. At any rate.
He's been watching a lot of Peppa Pig and shit.
No, you see. Is it?
I was out taking a piss in the garden.
Oh, Gabi. Yeah, it is Gabi. But whatever. Hannah, listen. It's not my fault. I know how to talk, and I don't have to say all Philadelphia. Hannah. You want a hoagie and a Coke? But at any rate,
that's
shut up. But at any rate, this goes down as a like. Regina definitely likes it. We've listened to it a few times. Honestly, I haven't listened to it that much in the last few days, but I know heading into it. Earlier this week, Regina was into it. She was listening to it. She was enjoying it. Katie can also confirm that she liked it. So we are at somewhat of a tie. I actually got a half game lead back on you because you were at 15 likes and 4 dislikes. I am at 14 likes and 3 dislikes. So that gives me the half lead.
You keep using these baseball terms that I don't understand.
I know because whatever. You don't know baseball.
As long as we're in agreement that I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I know. Just know. Okay, so if we're going by baseball terms, here's what you have to understand. Number one, that I have a half game lead on you here, and that Weezer Blue now counts in my Discogs value.
Fuck no, it doesn't.
It does. I think it does.
It never does.
Tom?
It never did.
I'm staying out of this.
Kristen, you were on that episode?
Tom Switzerland.
I agree. It counts.
Yeah.
It counts.
I'll take all your blood money, but
don't you fucking dare, Kristen. You're a guest on this podcast.
Actually, since Kristen is a guest on this podcast, top 3 songs, Kristen. Yeah, I know. You're like, God damn it. Why'd you go to me first?
I have to do the thing.
Yes, do the thing.
Confetti. Number 1. 2 is Bit Part. And 3 is It's a Shame About Ray.
Okay. Tom, top 3?
Top 3, Ceiling Fan in My Spoon, Hannah and Gabi, and Rock and Stroll. Okay. Top 3.
All right. Hey, you know what? It's funny because those songs for you actually make sense.
Okay.
Coming from you, like you say that, and that actually makes a lot of sense to me. So cool. Adam, break out your note back.
Yes.
No
I
bag.
I have
No bag.
Bring out your ball bag and your notes.
Got your ball bags. I got Rock and Stroll.
Do you want a
I might
Yingling
pee myself.
Yingling box?
Yeah, I do. I do want one of those.
You're all drunk. I got Rock and Stroll. I got Bit Part, and Paul texted me and said we were including it, so I'm going Mrs. Robinson.
Okay. Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's
so
a solid cover,
With
man.
an honorable mention of Turnpike Down.
and that's what I'll say. So like originally, so what we decided to do, and I'll tell you my top 3 in a minute, but what we decided to do was and we'll get into the Discogs value. Like I said, I have a 30th anniversary edition, which is a 2 LP thing, which has the first 2 sides, A and B, are the original release, which does not include Mrs. Robinson, but then
the whole top that comes off.
Yes, I was going to talk about that.
But then the first track on the second LP is Mrs. Robinson, which was the re-release. So I did say no, we're going to include Mrs. Robinson because honestly, that is how I think a lot of people have. I don't know what's going on here.
What?
Have come to discover the Lemonheads. So my top 3, I have Confetti, Rudderless, and My Drug Buddy is my number 3.
My Drug
Oh,
Buddy
I have
and
an
Rudderless were like honorable mentions for me.
I have an honorable mention of Bit Part. That is my honorable mention. But yeah, now My Drug Buddy just kind of I like that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Especially since I got to think that Evan Dando must have had a drug problem because like the terms that he uses, I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard a fucking ton of druggies use those terms throughout the song.
Like ceiling fan of my spoon.
A little bit, yeah.
So
but
weird, right?
Yeah, it is a little.
Hey, give me your beer, Adam.
My beer?
Yeah, hand it over.
Oh,
All right, thanks. I was last week when he kept fucking toasting dead people. I'm trying to make drinks.
So those are good, but like, isn't the whole top supposed to come off?
So I picked up Hellas. This is Sly Fox Hellas. I picked this up because I wanted something. Like I said, Paul made me do manual labor when I got here.
This is good.
I wanted something that was light and drinkable if I was going to be outside. I brought this to a guy that I used to work with's party, and during the summer the one time, and he was like, "Hey," I'm like, "This is the date for this year's barbecue. Can you come?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Cool. Can you bring that beer that you brought the last time?"
And not Katai.
And I said, like, what did I bring? And I didn't even know Katai at this point. I was like, what did I bring? And he's like, I don't know, some fucking hipster fucking thing. And he said some hipster thing where it was like an old school thing where the whole top popped off. And I was like, oh shit, that was Sly Fox.
Yeah. They don't do that anymore.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
Sadly,
it's a shame.
Up until like a couple years ago, Sly Fox used to have the old school like whole pop
Like a
top.
pop top?
Yeah, you take the whole fucking top off.
The pop tops the whole top didn't come off.
But Sly Fox Hellas is good as shit.
The old Mickey's bottles, though, those ones.
Yeah,
you had the big hand grenade pin you had to pull, and it would rip the whole top off.
That's what Sly Fox was for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole top.
Adam, least favorite song.
Least favorite? So I said before, aside from a handful of a couple of songs, which are the 4 that I fucking mentioned, as my top favorite, the album was kind of just on the boring side for me. So it was very fucking hard. It was easy to pick out a top 3. Very fucking hard to pick out a bottom.
Sometimes that happens.
Because it was just, everything is just kind of...
Did you say a top bottom?
A top bottom.
A top bottom.
A top bottom.
Front bottom.
A bottom top.
So I even have it listed with a question mark next to it just because I guess this is my bottom, is Frank Mills.
Okay.
Just because I'm listening to the album.
You don't like hair.
Aside from the 4 songs that I listed before, everything else is just kind of
clearly he doesn't.
Generic. I got the best fucking head of hair in the Weiss family.
You actually do. I
I
will
do.
say
Look
that.
at this.
You really do.
It's because you're a baby still.
Look at this.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Fucking Paul was bald by my age.
I
That's
really
true.
was.
Were you?
Yeah, I was.
And his dick fell off. Wait
That's
till
not
you
true.
get
No,
older.
it's still there.
That's what I heard. Anyway.
Ooh, man.
My
Wow.
dick fell off, but it was
Wow.
I elected to have that surgery. So
Wow.
Because you-
That was the
Too
bottom
many
surgery.
babies.
All right, Tom, least favorite song.
So, my least favorite. All right, so
Tom's
I'm-
fucking detective.
I'm in agreement with Adam with the Frank Mills, but I knew that it was a fucking show tune.
Yeah, okay.
So my actual least favorite would be, aside, if we put Frank Mills aside, because I don't think it's
Dishonorable mention of
doesn't-
Frank Mills.
Was
it
that
doesn't
Vertigo?
to me, it doesn't count for the album. Like, it's not part of the album to me.
Okay.
It's the last song I think on that record.
The original release, yeah.
And right. I think Rudderless is my least favorite.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, I do like Rudderless. Okay. Kristen, least favorite song?
I had a really difficult time. So originally I thought Turnpike Down, but the more I listened to it, I liked it. And now I think maybe Hannah and Gabby.
Okay.
I don't know.
Regina would disagree with you.
I don't know.
Yes, she would. So my least favorite is a Sailing Fan in My Spoon, with a dishonorable mention to Kitchen, because every time I was like listening to it, I was driving and I heard the sirens. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I'm like, oh fuck, it's a fucking song again.
I didn't hate
Kitchen
that.
would probably be on.
I don't hate it either, but yeah. Yeah. So
I forget what song it was. There was a song that 104.5, the local alternative rock radio station in Philly, used to play.
Yep.
But there was a sound in the song that was the sound of a fucking camera shutter from an iPhone.
Oh, weird.
So I'd be driving down the street and I would hear this fucking song and I would think that my phone was fucking going off.
Taking
because of the sound.
screenshots.
Yeah.
Dick or whatever.
So I can vouch for, I thought I had to move, like I was listening to it on the way up here as tradition, and the fucking sirens, and I started to veer to the right to move over.
Did you think it was the Delco cops waking you up again?
No, I thought it was someone, because I still have a crack in my windshield, so I assumed it was someone pulling me over for that.
I don't think they can pull you over for that.
Here you go.
Can they?
Crack
yeah.
windshield?
Yeah.
I feel like
New
you
Jersey,
can
they can pull you over for the most
something
ticky-tack shit.
else, and then you can get the ticket for the cracked windshield as well.
Yeah, I think they have to have something else.
Yep.
In New Jersey, you don't
My
need
inspection's
mechanical
also
Maybe
inspection.
making
so.
Yeah, same.
All right, so what I have here, and I mentioned earlier, I have a 2022 remastered deluxe edition European import.
This came out after season 1 started?
It did.
So fancy.
It's a
Wow.
it's a 30th anniversary edition. I know. I picked this album before season 1 started, or when season 1 started in 1987,
Yeah.
and
Before the towers fell.
That's
all you need to know.
Before I was born.
Yes, I picked this out in 1987, and I knew that there was going to be a 30th anniversary deluxe edition that would be a European import that would come out here. Now, here is the bullshit part about the Discogs value.
It goes against Paul.
It does go against me.
That's why it's bullshit.
Well, there's
yeah.
two bullshits about it. Is that last
If Adam
week
got fucked over, this would not be bullshit.
it would be fine because of fucking
I'm sorry,
Totally.
whose album broke $1,000 in value?
fuck you. No, but here's what I'm gonna say is that actually when we finished the episode, when we finished filming on Sunday, I actually looked this up. I did it on the slide so you wouldn't see me do it, and I actually had a very good plus value of $40.
Okay.
However, some units have fucking sold, or some other people have fucking listed it, and the very good plus value has changed on this album. And
Since last week?
Now it's $192.
What?
I
the frick?
fucking wish.
Paul Venmo'd me,
No.
and I bought a copy off of him for $300.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I am too fucking honest about this. Number one, there is not a copy, and I'm gonna go into this because it's showing how much I'm getting fucked on this, and I should be allowed to add Weezer
It's
Blue.
amazing how competitive you are for something that literally doesn't matter.
Listen, I want to have
You're
the
gonna
big
get
D.
the big D.
Gotta have the big D in the family. All right.
He doesn't.
I mean, I do, but it's besides the point.
Obviously.
No, so
It's very evident that you do. You're so confident about it.
shut up, Tom. So
I'm just saying, you know who's making a big deal about this? Right.
shut up. So of all of the copies of this version, because this is a black vinyl version that are listed, the cheapest one is listed at $32.26. However, the very good plus value on this is now $26.91, making it $27. So fuck that shit.
So
Can't
just
you go with last week's price?
I would
just-
like to go with last week's price.
What was last week's price?
Just $40.
Just take that.
That's
Take
it. Just to verify. So
Yeah.
a
Can we
week,
all agree he
a
got
week
the
ago, the
$40 price?
very good plus
pull out-
It was like
MSRP
39 cents.
Adam,
was $40 bucks.
Yeah.
Pull out enough to shut.
$40.
Right.
That's $40 right there.
Pull enough out to beat.
No.
That's it.
No.
You don't have to-
That's $40.
You don't have to give him the whole dick. You just show him enough
Yeah.
to win.
That's
There you go, buddy.
No. That's $40.
Yeah,
bucks.
I
Take your
gotta
last
do
week.
math then, and I can't get to the computer. So we're leaving it. We're leaving it.
What did you say your value was?
$26.91.
Okay, cool. We're gonna
$27.
add 13 to whatever your score is.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what's your
I
thing?
mean, no.
All right, cool.
What's
Do
your
you have
thing?
this calculator
Look at that.
as well, or
Wait.
just-
Can
Adam,
we listen?
You should really, big dick, just round up. Give yourself 20,
Yeah.
bitch.
So actually, what I think we should do instead of adding
Double it.
adding that, shouldn't we just add Weezer Blue to my total then?
He's gonna beat you without it.
Shut
What
up.
did you say?
Okay.
What did you?
I said, show me just add Weezer Blue to my total then.
Oh, they blew it. All right.
What do you? All right.
So we're adding it. We're gonna do it for $40.
1002.
Which I will
He's
say,
191 up.
I will say,
He's 191 up.
I
I'd
appreciate.
give you the Weezer Blue on top of the extra fucking money. Take it
I
all, bitch.
I appreciate
win.
the going with the $40. I
Grab
appreciate
your
that.
ass,
So we'll
hoe.
do that.
How many
And-
more records do you have left?
2.
So yeah, so we
How
are
many
at.
do you have left?
I have
4?
3 left.
Three.
So
Done.
3, yes. So
Done.
we
You're
are at.
fucked 91
I
up.
am then at $811 to Adam's $1,002.
What was the Weezer
So-
Blue?
The Weezer Blue is another $80.
As his agent, I'd give you the Weezer Blue too. I'd concede that.
Oh, that would.
But
that
then
would
you
make
got
it
to
close.
give him like a
reach around.
window. Well,
What?
obviously,
Your
we're
brothers.
being good friends here. He
Yeah.
was.
Weird.
Hold on. He was swinging a hammer in your yard earlier.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Yeah, the reach arounds. That's custom.
No. We'll just go with the $40. I appreciate that. I appreciate the caveat of the $40. So that brings me up to $811. Adam is at. He's broke 1,000. He's at $1,002. I am down $191, or Adam is up $191. So
It's a
Adam,
glass half empty, glass half
I'd give
full.
you the Weezer
Exactly.
too on top of it,
Go
because then it's
ahead.
going to be that much worse.
grab the box of Michael.
Paul has 3 more albums
Kristen,
left.
hold
Though.
Yeah, and he's got 2. Yo, that skunk is all dick.
All right. So, Kristen, we only have 5 albums left in season 1,
Hey,
so
don't
it's
pull
going
a
to be
booze and vinyl,
another
though.
17
Did you say
months.
Don't pull a booze and vinyl.
Don't.
I'm going to see Social Distortion and
Whoa,
fucking
whoa,
Bad
whoa,
Religion
whoa,
on
whoa.
the 5th.
Okay, all
Don't
right.
see Social Distortion.
So
you're
Last
going to-
time I saw them, they were awful.
Listen, they're
Actually,
opening for Bad Religion is my favorite band.
We left early.
I don't. Well, they're opening for Bad Religion, so
Okay. Social D sucked though.
All
He
right,
was
so-
like shit faced and like
yeah. Well, he was been an alcoholic for 30 fucking years.
it wasn't good.
Yeah, I'm sorry that he's struggling with issues.
They're talking about
It
Mike
was
Ness.
really bad.
Mike Ness,
Okay,
yeah.
can I give this back to you, please? Thank you.
All right. So we have
Look at this. That's
I
fucking.
feel like
That's
my
Michael Stripe.
I said,
Yeah,
he's-
it is Michael.
you-
sorry,
Jesus.
Michael. I'm
He's all
sorry.
dick.
Yeah, show
Yeah.
some
All
respect.
All right. So
I
this
feel like
is
I'm gonna need
He's
my
like
inhaler.
30% dick. He's not all dick.
this is number
measured
24.
Predominantly did.
1/3.
Say we weighed it. Yeah, he's 30% dick, just like Adam.
Can I read it? Let's see.
Okay. So all right. So here's what I'm gonna say.
What color's your
This
card?
this doesn't necessarily have to be a booze and vinyl.
If it was Booze and Vinyl, we just got to record it the next day.
Oh, is it? Then I
Ready?
know exactly what it is.
Yep. Go for it.
Simon and Garfunkel.
Sounds of Silence.
Because if I'm not mistaken, Bridge Over Troubled Water is actually in the book.
Yes. So we'll talk about it afterwards. We'll go from
We
there.
can do this.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is one of those. It's not a completely unofficial booze and vinyl. It is one of the ones that we're making.
It's like this
leeways.
episode right now.
Yeah. Well, no. It actually
No,
is.
it's like-
There's
it's
another Simon and Garfunkel
Yes.
in the book.
Okay, so it's like what we did with Elvis Costello.
Yes,
Yes.
it's like an Elvis Costello.
So we'll talk about it afterwards. This may or may not be a booze and vinyl, depending on availability. Because hey, guess what? No one's getting fucking paid
I'm
here.
going to see Bad
That's the
Religion and Social Distortion.
All right,
on
well,
the
Alright.
5th,
then don't worry about it. It's
Do
not
that.
a booze and vinyl
Listen.
next week.
What if we got to figure out a different recording
Well,
time?
he can't.
Do
he
that.
can't do a different recording time.
What if he
Just
didn't
fuck it.
suck?
I know. That's what,
What
goes
if?
up. It's
Well,
okay.
I'm just saying, what if?
Yeah,
What if
totally.
you just recorded like your segment separately?
I'll just make
You
a couple
gotta
jokes
make a
about
drink
Paul
yourself.
not being able to read.
Exactly.
Yeah.
YouTube, make a
I
video
just,
of him
imagine,
making a
like,
drink.
I just want a video of Tom sitting in a closet in his
Edit
house,
it in.
like, Paul can't read. Paul sucks. And then just reading the drop the needle, and that's it.
Yeah.
Talk some shit about Adam
All right,
being a hipster,
so-
and we're good.
So next week's episode is Simon and Garfunkel, Sounds of Silence. This is an Adam pick. He only has one album after this.
Yeah.
So it's kind of exciting. We may have a guest on this one.
Dad.
No, he's dead. Skipper.
Dead.
Skipper.
Yeah, haven't mentioned the skipper
Yeah.
yet.
Dead
today.
dad.
No, but there's a possibility. Although he's said no the last couple times, so we'll probably say no again.
Mhm.
But
We could get a Ouija board.
no, we
Like-
could. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be
for the
Shadow.
Skipper.
Sick. We get some
Shadow
candles.
Skipper.
Get some fucking candles and a Ouija board.
That'd be
I'm down.
weird.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Get some black lipstick and some nail polish. Let's fucking do it.
Are we just going to do this
Osriel.
episode from Hot Topic?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so
Good ghost album.
anybody else have anything to say? Tom,
No, man.
Kristen,
Good to see you guys. again.
No.
Tom, and Kristen, thank you for
Thank
being
you for
here. I am
having
sorry
me.
you won't be here next week. We're actually going to take the booze and vinyl off the board. So this like we'll actually go
I
back.
definitely will not be
Yes.
here if it's Sunday.
It is, but we'll go back and we will actually redo. We'll get that Simon and Garfunkel that we were using in there to for another Simon and Garfunkel at some point. So so it's all good.
I'm sure you'll see me again.
Oh, absolutely. There's a
couple beer and vinyls left, I think.
There is one left. After
there's
this.
at least
there's,
one booze and vinyl left.
There's
at
one
least
left
one.
after this. So we will have Tom for at least one more episode. I know that for sure. Kristen, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
This is not potentially you have potentially one more.
I think one more.
But I gotta say, I'm going to reach out to other people. Because you've been on a lot. You've been
So
on
he's
a lot.
going to reach around you.
I'm gonna reach around.
I might reach out to somebody
around
else.
you.
But
I'm getting sick of you. So
no,
we're
that's
gonna
not
get
true.
somebody
That's not
else.
true. I'm
He's
not
not
getting
sick of me.
you.
If I can get somebody semi-famous on the show,
Paul
I will
actually
go
said
do
Actually,
that.
Actually, I will not be getting someone semi-famous
I know.
on that show, but that's okay. That's okay. But I do have other people who want to be on that episode. So, so we'll see. We'll see. But chances are you're the only person who consistently says yes, which I appreciate.
You're the only person who consistently has nothing else going
You
on.
keep
in your
answering
life.
the phone, so I keep
Yes.
calling.
Yes.
So boring.
It is really.
Kristen.
It's like, hey, you're not doing anything right.
Correct.
You're not doing anything as obvious.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
I had three
Wait a
things.
minute.
I
had
know.
3 things planned this weekend.
I
and
can't-
Dude, I gotta tell you how
Two
happy I
of them-
was for you for that.
2 of those things were canceled because the people I know suck.
And
Most of them.
like you,
Yeah, and here you are.
you messaged me. I wrote so
The
here's what
people I know suck.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Well, no,
Hi,
the other
guys.
people I know suck.
Great.
Paul does not cancel on me.
Kristen
True.
messaged me. She's like, "Is the podcast really happening?" Because everybody else canceled me. I'm like, "Yes, the
I know
podcast
those
is happening. The
days.
podcast will
I
always
understand.
fucking happen."
I
So
understand.
yes,
I mean, I still took my mom for her blood work on Saturday,
Well, that's good.
so that
That's
was
good.
actually still a thing.
there you go.
That was not canceled.
All right,
Yesterday?
that's good.
Yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Saturday's a bad day for blood.
Oh my
It is.
God. Can I tell you about that really quick?
Yeah, go do it. Do it. We got time. Why
So,
not?
You
We're only like an hour and a half in.
You
so-
can't make an appointment at LabCorp on Saturdays. They won't let you.
Oh, really?
Except at Abington Hospital. But we hate going to Abington Hospital because there's no parking. You can
They
valet.
have like 3 parking garages.
You can sort of valet park for $4. They don't validate your parking. It's like a whole thing. My mom's got a walker. I have to drop her off at the front, then I got to go park and then figure out how the fuck to find the car afterwards. It's like a whole thing.
Just park in the
So-
Mexican restaurant parking lot.
There
across
is
the
no.
street.
There's Mexican
So there's literally a LabCorp across the street.
There is a Mexican
Okay.
restaurant across.
Yeah. I've been there. It's delicious. They make like tableside
It's Philly.
guacamole.
It doesn't
It's
matter
awesome.
where you
I
go.
don't
There's a
think that's
Mexican
still there.
restaurant.
It's
across-
Abington. It's different.
Oh,
So
my bad.
okay, so across the street there's literally another LabCorp. So we go
Okay.
into that. I drop her off at the front door. I go to park.
LabCorp on both sides of the street.
Yes.
Yeah, so Abington Hospital used to do their own blood work, and now they outsource it to LabCorp.
LabCorp. Yep.
Obviously, they do.
So
Yeah.
like it now there's a LabCorp there in the hospital.
Gotta charge that insurance company 4 times instead of twice.
Yep.
So we go to the one across the street because normally that's dead. We go in. I can't even get into the building. It's so crowded. So I'm like, Viv, you're not going here. Come on. Let's go. There's one up the street. We'll go down Yorktown Road. We'll go up to the other one. It's closed on Saturdays.
Oh.
Like,
There's so many LabCorps you could. It's like Denny's. You could be like, no, let's not go to that Denny's. Let's go to
These
the good
LabCorps
Denny's.
close at 11. It is now
me.
It is now 10:05, and I've got to get this woman who does not move quickly because she's 83 and has cancer. So she's got a walker, and she doesn't move very fast. So we're back at the hospital. It was like a whole thing. I don't know what we're going to do in 2 weeks when it's her next time, but it's a
Okay.
fucking disaster.
All right.
Just so you know, I used to be an ER tech, and part of my job was drawing blood. I'm actually very fucking good at it.
Would you come
So
to my
I will
box?
come if you get the tubes. I'll come draw the blood for you.
And,
There you go.
and where do we deposit that?
I don't know. You send it to LabCorp. I don't
the
fucking
bank.
know. We'll drop it off.
There you go. Just be like, hey, listen, we already did this. Here's the
Yeah,
shit.
like we fucking
Just drop
we
it off at
cut
7-Eleven.
Cut out the middleman. We'll
Because she
drop it
needs
off.
it every 2 weeks.
All right.
I'm fucking good, dude.
There you go.
Give me a straight needle.
And you can't get her up early. She
All right.
doesn't-
You're
she
not a
doesn't-
Weiss.
She doesn't get up early.
Neither
So,
do
like,
I. I
you
work
can't get her up
overnights.
at,
I don't
like-
I
work
get
here.
up early.
It's like
Fuck
a whole
yeah.
thing.
That sounded weird.
Because then
Vaguely
It was
sexual.
supposed to sound weird.
they could take her during the week.
Well, I get up early, baby.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, Kristen,
Oh,
do you have anything to say?
I don't.
No.
Just a LabCorp is a disaster.
Okay.
That's all.
Adam, you got anything else to add?
Yeah, fuck LabCorp.
Same,
LabCorp.
same thing as always. Listen to the album, form your own opinion.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Do
cool.
that thing.
Well, on that note, it is time to